All right, first of all, E, my man, congratulations. 25 years at the Fan590. Here's to 25 more. All right, let's get you to 50, my man. You're the best, and you are absolutely a star. Enjoy it, buddy.
Hey, Eric. Happy 25th year of doing whatever the hell you do. I don't know, but thanks for being around, thanks for being supportive, and thanks for being, most of all, importantly, a great friend, man. Congrats.
Congratulations, 25 years. You started when you were 5.
Yes.
So not only basketball have you covered there, you covered pretty much everything. So we'll put basketball on the side for a moment. What have been some of the other memories from covering sports that have really stood out in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, basketball is at the top of the list for the top memories, no doubt. I ended up doing play-by-play for men's boxing for the 2012 Olympics. And that was my first taste of what we've all had to deal with the last couple of years with calling games off a monitor from a distance because we didn't go to London. So that was done off monitors. And I got the call to do the Olympics. I believe it was 6 days before the Olympics started. Because Jeff Merrick was originally going to do men's boxing and he had some sort of family issue came up. And I got a call from Rob Corte. And again, maybe this is like the theme of the whole chat here. The negative, something spinning in my mind. So Rob, one of the big bosses at Sportsnet, the phone rings in the middle of July, and I look at the phone, Rob Corte, I'm like, oh boy, do I want to answer this call? And it was, hey, Eric, what do you know about boxing? And I mean, I know boxing, I like boxing, but I'm not going to sit here and claim like I'm an expert by any means. He said, we need you to step up. Do you think you can help us out? I said, yeah, but what are you talking about? Can you do play-by-play for the Olympics? I'm like, like that start next week? Sure. Like, what do you need? Like, all weight classes, men's boxing. I'm like, okay. And like baptism by fire, got this binder about yay thick and go read up on all weight classes and all different boxers and whatever else. And I was paired up with Russ Anber, who's, to me a legend, trainer, cut man, corner man in Canadian boxing. And Russ and I were paired together for 2 weeks of the Olympics, and just like by day 4, I felt like I was an expert because I'd already called about 30 matches and working alongside Russ. Honestly, it was like all I really had to do is say, oh, it's so-and-so from Canada and so-and-so from the United States, and first round underway, boom, and Russ, and nice uppercut. Like, I didn't have to do a whole ton because Russ was just so fantastic, and I'd say that somewhat tongue-in-cheek. Obviously, I was working, but he was unbelievable. And to have that experience, still fairly early-ish in my career, like, can't believe that was over a decade ago. That certainly stands out as an accomplishment to say that I was involved in an Olympic Games, even though I wasn't actually there in person.
You're still part of it and calling it for all these people, these memories and moments that are part of people's careers forever. What has that part been like? Because there's been such an outpouring from fans over the last couple of days, saying like, oh, it's 25 years of you. What has that interaction been like? Because they know you as the voice of the Raptors or sidelines of the Raptors, and being part of such huge moments, not only with like boxing and all that, but especially Canada's only NBA team.
It's been pretty awesome. I mean, honestly, I don't want to sound like, I really don't want to sound cheesy or disingenuous. I honestly do mean it. I feel like I want to look in the camera. Like, it's been humbling. It's been very nice and like I say, humbling to read some of the comments and to have people reach out either on Twitter or emails and texts, and some people on direct messages, and some of the people that have talked about, what very small part, I think very small part, I've hopefully played in even helping just kind of grow the game to a certain extent by helping grow the fan base and whatnot. And I don't know, it's special. It's special to know that you're a little bit a part of that, and to hear some stories from people that have written me and said, like, I reached out to you in 2003 or 2010 or whatever it was. I was thinking about going to school for journalism, or I wanted to get into broadcasting, or you're somebody that I've watched or listened to, or you wrote me back and it made an impact. Like, those are the stories you love to hear. And some people that I know of that are working in the industry now. I actually just got a note from a producer that's working for the enemy, working on the other side at TSN, saying, hey, I reached out to you like 15 years ago and I haven't even spoken to you since, but thanks very much and congratulations. Like, stuff like that is awesome. And the tough thing is, and I don't want to sound like I don't know if arrogance even the right word, I don't think I look that old and I don't feel that old, but I've been around a hell of a long time, so it's actually a little bit humbling and but still fun in a way for me to think, like, been doing this a hell of a long time, and I'm hoping I'm still doing it for a long time to come. So it's kind of cool to think that because of starting at a fairly young age, it's afforded me the opportunity to still hopefully be young enough to have more to come, to appreciate everything that's happened, and not be an old dude that's hopefully a year or two away from retirement, let alone the other side of the dirt.
But I want to end on this because obviously, like we mentioned, Raptors, everyone associates you with them. Earlier memory of them, because I know like you love calling the championship, all of that, but maybe even an embarrassing moment or something. Give me the tea, Eric. Come on.
Okay, well, I mean, I can't end it without saying at least, like, clearly acknowledging 2019 is the ultimate, right?
Did anything happen?
A couple of things. But I mean, listen, wherever, I don't even know, I'm terrible with distance. What were we, like 150, 200 feet away from the Kawhi shot? Like, I was in the corner 25, 30 feet from Kawhi when he hit that shot. I was working the sidelines of that broadcast. So like to have that bird's eye view right there, and do the post-game interview with Kyle right beside Kawhi and his arm's bleeding and Kyle's wiping the blood off Kawhi's arm while we're doing the interview. And then of course the championship, and I'm actually working the radio for that. So to know that my final call is a little piece of history, like that's cool for me right there. Like just to know that a little piece of history is the broadcast that Jonesy and I had in my final call, like that's awesome. But our first year broadcasting games together, myself and Paul, I don't know if this is dirt necessarily, but when people say what's a memory, well, clearly the championship. It's hard to top though, seeing Kobe Bryant score 81 points against the Raptors. So for a guy that grew up as a Laker fan, like I was early to mid 80s, Showtime Lakers, yeah. Magic Johnson was my guy, and the Lakers were my team as a kid. So to be in Los Angeles, sitting 10, 15 feet to the left of the Lakers bench, that's where the visiting radio broadcast position it was. And when Kobe Bryant's checking into the game, and LeBron does the whole rosin and the cloud. So there's Kobe checking into the game, and he's putting the rosin on the hands and whatever. And Jonesy's busting my chops on the air, saying, "Oh, you're the Laker fan in you's coming in. It's like it looks like you're trying to bathe or shower under his pixie dust of the rosin and whatever." But every time he checks in, and he's right there. I mean, look right there. And during the broadcast, we're like, he's going for 40. No, he's going for 50. And then at one point, I remember saying to Jonesy, I think he's going to hit 70 at this rate. And sure enough, 81 points. And that was our first year calling the games together. We had worked together for a couple of years before that, but the actual broadcast was that year. It was unbelievable. And just as a quick little aside, the only autograph, and I know you're supposed to keep it professional and not cross the lines and journalistic integrity, and here I am admitting it on camera, but the only autograph I've ever had in 25 years that was 1,000% personal, I fully admit, 1,000% personal, I'll take the heat, was when Kobe Bryant was in this building for the All-Star game in Toronto, and I was able to get Kobe to autograph the box score. So I don't know if anybody has that. I don't know if that's how rare that is. It's not even hanging up on a wall in my house because I'm so scared of getting broken into or something, and cause I don't want it. It's buried away, but I have Kobe's autograph on the 81-point box score because it was a special moment that we were a part of, to know that you were part of that history. So again, it's not dirt necessarily, but it's certainly a story that stands out, very close second to the 2019 championship.
I'd have to say congratulations again.
Thank you.
And just to show how great your chemistry is with Paul, here's what he had to say was his favorite memory with Eric.
He works hard at his job. He's on top of things. He's well-rounded. And it was the first year that we were doing games together, I think. And it was the night that Kobe Bryant scored 81 points. And, he was always asking about protocol and what do we do that's professional. And after Kobe scored his 81st point and was leaving the floor, Eric took out his camera phone, a flip phone. And he looked at me, he said, "Can I take a picture?" Normally I would have said no. Like, that's not what we do when we sit courtside in LA. At this point though, I turned to him and I said, "Hell yes, this is history. I've never seen it. I don't know if we're ever gonna see it again." So he has on his phone somewhere a grainy image of Kobe leaving the floor with his right index finger in the air. And knowing a buddy who is friends with Kobe was okay to sign the score sheets for us. We never do that. Again, something to break protocol. I was having my basement remodeled, couldn't find my sheets. Eric was right on top of his. And before he passed away, Kobe signed the score sheets of the night he scored 81 points, and Eric and I called the game. But somewhere there's a grainy flip phone picture of Eric Smith doing this.